All right, Shalom. When I thought about giving all praise, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash.
the abundance of the apostle, elders, a great millstone. Shalom to all the Akim out there preaching the word of sincerity and the truth. Yeah, it's the I'm a guest here, of course, with the New Orleans brothers, Louisiana bros, and the elder. Just gonna go to the topic of WW3. The end. Because the main thing is about prophecy. Yahweh Shai, the scriptures speak about how the Lord, it was in Revelation, the 19th chapter, is basically in the spirit of prophecy. And us as prophets of the hopeful elect, our jobs is to prophesy. It tells you that in Jeremiah 28:8, the prophets before the of old prophesied against many countries, great kingdoms of war, pestilence, and we see these things. We were just not going through this website, the end of the AmericanDream.com, and we were going into the H5, I think, N1 virus spread, which that's part of the pestilence. When it speaks about war, we already know that war is right now. You see Russia and Ukraine, they're going, going through their bout, so to speak, and Ukraine is losing miserably, and they're going to continue to excite more and more warfare on this world stage, and more of these countries are going to start to get introduced to that warlike mentality. The scripture spoke about wars and rumors of the wars. Now we're seeing wars take place. So how much closer are we to the end of the times that the Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai through the prophets has written about? So we'll just jump straight into it. You had Ezekiel?
This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 7. I'm going to start at 5. It says, thus said Yahweh thy power, and evil and only evil, behold, is come. Mm-hmm. And end is come. The end is come.
It says, and evil and only evil is come. That's why the scriptures speak about, as it is written in in Ezekiel, that it was written in and without of wars, lamentations, and woe. That's all we mainly focus on and prophesy. Of course, we speak about the upbringing of the brotherhood, and the encouragement to keep brothers enabled through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai to continue in this fight. But when it comes to this, on this worldwide spectrum, we prophesy of woe, lamentation. What it saying, we're not prosperity pastors, man. Tell you things are gonna get better. It's gonna get worse. So in Ezekiel, we're echoing the same sentiment as Ezekiel, Daniel, Ezra. All right. First and foremost, Yahweh Shai, Paul, all these different prophets and men of the Lord. And this is one amongst many. He said that the end is come. You got it.
It says, it watcheth for thee, behold, it is come.
Mm-hmm. And it speaks about evil. And the word evil, Eve is times, and ill is to be sick or bad. We're living in very, very evil times. Isn't it written that the love of many shall wax cold? And the Lord has set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Everybody's out to get each other, and that's why when we watch these different movies, we are like dystopian-based movies, especially pertaining to America. You'll see basically a massive amount of division, like the purge. That purge spirit is gonna come back on the earth, man. But that's why the Most High says, what in Zephaniah the 2nd chapter, if a bro want to get to gather ourselves, O nation not desired, because these different military men are bulking up, they're unifying to fight this war. It's about us, brothers, to be on that united front to actually fight against and resist the devil when he comes against us. Did you add anything, Oda, or anybody?
I had something real quick.
Okay, you can bring up what you got.
This is Isaiah chapter 33, verse 14. It says, the sinners in Zion are afraid. Filthiness has surprised the hypocrite. Who among us dwell with the devouring fire? Who among us shall dwell with everlasting burning? Yeah, so like you say, the sinners in Zion are afraid. You're hearing a lot of people trying to distract the what's the video that you had with Jake dancing?
Oh, doing distracting Russians.
Yeah, that's no distraction going on, man. This is biblical prophecy that's being fulfilled before your eyes, man. Again, there's prophecies that have to happen prior to this before this prophecy, so we still understand the time. Yep. But the sinners in Zion are afraid, man. All right, because they don't know what's going on. They don't have knowledge of what's next. All right, you have people taking arms saying, look, let us go protest against the war. What the article said, protest against the war that's going on in Ukraine and Russia. Mm-hmm. They're going to go protest in New York, man, or wherever it was at. All right, that's not going to help, man. Nothing going to stop it. You got to go.
What he said.
Come.
This is Isaiah 13 and 17 says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which should not regard silver. As for gold, they should not delight in them." So it don't matter if you're on your TikTok dancing, Jay. Think you're gonna distract the Russians, man. Them dudes, like this brother said, them dudes eat fucking nails. Them dudes eat dynamite for fucking breakfast, man. You know, and they keen it when you watch. See, we always talk about it down here. You Americans, especially you Jakes and you younger Jakes out here, y'all never seen the news show gruesome videos of dead bodies and people and shit, destruction like that, man. So these are people that's been bred up as young boys from the age of 8 to join the military. They didn't see war-torn villages and shit like that. So them dudes locked in. You can't be dancing to Boosie and think you're gonna distract somebody goddamn body from Russia, man. All right, they're not gonna. The scripture just said it. They're not gonna regard silver, and as for gold, they're not gonna delight in it, man. So how much more a simple nigga, all right, doing a two-step, man? You know what's gonna happen, right? They'll put a landmark in your fucking forehead, man. They'll blowing your goddamn brains out, man.
And they're gonna make examples out of a lot of these playful jakes, man. You know, scripture said what Israel ate, drank, and rose up to play. It's always a game for a nigga, man. It said in Proverbs, it's a sport for a fool to do sin, man. Everything to them is just like a, you know, like now it's trending on TikTok to do little Russian-based Ukrainian videos and stuff like that. But when they get real on your front door, and your mom getting her head blown off, you know, or these different you know, cities gonna be locked down and quarantines and things of that nature, checkpoints, the internet being cut off and things of that nature, rationing, you know, that's when you're gonna take things serious, man. You got anything else?
I got it for you. This is Ezekiel 21. I'm gonna start at 9. Son of man, prophesy and say, "Thus saith Yahweh, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter." Of course, we know who that sword is. That's pursuant to Psalm 17 and 13. The wicked, Esau. And we talk about these Edomites being that sword, but these Russians are also Edomites, so they're that sword of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushai as well. They're getting it popping in Ukraine, and hey, it's going to keep on going. You're going to have Russian troops on the streets of America putting you two-stepping niggas down. You got Russian troops in the Middle East during the battle in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. Hey, as I said, that sword is sharpened that it may glitter and make a sore slaughter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son, as every tree. A point blank period. With this sword being sharpened to make a sore slaughter, should we then make mirth? Should we be doing TikTok videos, dancing, how we're going to distract the Russians? No. If you in your right mindset, you'd be doing everything you could as an Israelite to get into the good graces of your power, Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushai. But we know for the majority, you 2/3, by the time it's up front and in your face, blood, sweat, tears, guts, and ass, it's going to be too late. And you're going to be a part of that sore slaughter. You're going to be a part of that fuel for the fire.
You're going to be a sacrifice.
Because these troops that's coming over here, we're about to get into just one of them. You know, and we as men of the Lord, we do our research. We're keen to looking into things. We keen to looking into other cultures and other especially when it comes to war, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Right? Like brothers can tell you names of different, you know, I know myself and certain of these other brothers can tell you names of certain missiles and shit. All right, the destruction that they do. We can tell you about different special forces that need different places, man. And then that's why we tell you niggas in the hood, man, you Americans, all right? They got your rusty ass pistols and shit. You're not ready for what's to come. You're not ready for that. You're not ready for this government that you love so much to drop the same different groups that you might have, Blackwater and Wagner Group. You're not ready for that shit over here, man. You people been dumbed down. You've been watered down. All right. And I done seen it. You know, I done told you brothers. Y'all brothers was witnesses about a couple 3 years back. I told you a guy got shot in front of my mama's house. All the niggas and women was throwing up on the front lawn, man. You're not ready to see that. That's why I tell you, a lot of you brothers out there, a lot of you brothers and a lot of you people that tune in, you need to get yourself acclimated to seeing going on these gruesome gore sites and watch people get fucked up. because we in
real time.
We in the times where you're gonna start seeing people mangled, brains on the ground, eyeballs torn to shreds, man.
Bowel movement all over the ground. Yeah.
Niggas taking their last breath, the last couple of nerves in them going out. You need to see that shit, man.
Men scream, big old tough guys screaming
like
women.
Because the scriptures even says, just to add to the elder, that the Lord is a man of war. You know, we got to have a certain connection with you know, understanding things that's gonna actually come in these times now, man. You know, but I got a precept. This is Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears.
Right. I was just talking to a friend of mine from Houston, man. The guy I had to work with, you know, Jake want to inquire about what's going on. What the fuck? You know, why is this happening? Why is that happening? You know, and you know, Jake's sincere or whatever. Jake has a clear understanding of what's going on a little bit, but I went into that particular scripture with him because when we was at the job, we used to have a big sign that tell you, he said you cannot send any type of product. I used to work in oil and gas and steel and shit like that, so it's like you couldn't send nothing to Cuba, Iran, Russia, Venezuela, and there's one more country that I'm missing.
That was on the list?
That was on the list. It's an embargo. Why? And one day I asked, you know, the higher, like, what the fuck? Why we can't see nothing? Like, oh man, see them fucking ultrasonic meters and all that steel? They turn that shit into bullets. They turn that shit into guns and shit. That's why. Yeah, that's what it's going into. They're gonna take, like the elders always broken down to, they're gonna, them plowshares and pruning hooks are literally nothing more than your everyday that's literally nothing more than rakes, shovels, all right, agricultural equipment. Stop dealing with that shit and start turning into AK-47s, man. Missile defense system, jets.
Yeah. During World War II, Hitler wanted to tear down the Eiffel Tower to make bullets out of it.
Yeah.
And tanks.
Yeah, them other countries melt shit down like that, man, and turn into war weapons, man.
Because they know they got to defend their country. And even when you look at the federal budget of the United States as well as these other countries, majority of the money is going towards the military, man. Yeah. It's not going towards medicine. And, you know, of course, there's certain billions and things of that nature that's in the budget that goes towards medicine, education, transportation, whatever, welfare. But the heavy-handedness of the pie chart, or the lion's portion of the pie chart, is goes towards the military, man.
Yeah, that's for everything. Now I'm gonna say this too, because I was talking to this brother, man. You know, what you see in the earth now, what the Lord has put in the earth now, He's put that ancient spirit back in the earth. Because even though this guy, that the Ukrainian president, he's going to get killed by tonight, today, tomorrow. He's going to die. He knows he's going to die. He said last night he made a speech to the UN and saying goodbye. All right. But what I wanted to say about that, when you go into the comments or whatever, what you see is people, I admire his courage. I honor him. He's going to be forever remembered as a hero. That's an old ancient spirit. That's an old spirit when the president or the king goes down with his country, man. Yeah. And that's what the spirit of the Lord has put these nations in under, man. Starting with Putin. Putin is in the most, man. You can see that little big head motherfucker, man.
He's like an ancient warlord, like an ancient king.
Yeah. Yeah. The Lord got him in that trans spirit. He's ready, man. Ready.
Test him.
Yeah, they get it from who? Our big bro, Yahushua. He went down.
Man of war.
He really went down for the nation for real.
Yeah.
Right? That this nation right here, that this may go forth, man.
But it says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Everybody's waking now, man. All right, the markets, all right, are overflowing with inflation. It's time, man. It's time that everybody jump on each other's asses, man. You got, and I believe, like I say, soon as this shit is getting handled with Ukraine, China gonna get on Taiwan's ass, man. All right, and Russia's already talking about getting on Finland and Switzerland ass if they go try to join NATO. All right, we also brought it out before this video that Putin is already stationed in Cuba, man. With stealth bombers, man.
Venezuela too.
Stage is set.
Yeah, Venezuela too, man.
They did a couple of years ago. There was a big issue with Russia sending 2 nuclear-capable strike bombers to Venezuela for a training drill. What do you think they were doing that for? Getting it ready for the times we're coming into right now.
That's why you see Sleepy Joe shaking in his boots. He probably tore up about 3-4 draws by now.
I know.
Shitty motherfucker.
Wipe my butt.
Yeah.
Shit, he already shits his pants under regular circumstances.
Yeah. See now, he probably don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, man.
You know, under some hypnosis and mind control, they probably crank him up from his back. You know, hey, just go and speak about this.
Yeah.
You know, walkie-talkie, his fucking ass. Excuse my French, but it's the truth. But a little bit more. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is Yehoshaphat, the Lord's judgment. And it's a video. I'm gonna send it to y'all bros too. But it speaks about the military choke points. You know, the actual water choke points, and this is where it spoke about the different bodies of water and the most important choke points. And they were speaking about the most important was in the Middle East, and it was like that's where all the major countries actually come together. And they were saying that if that little choke point basically got clogged, it would destroy and disrupt basically the markets of the whole world.
Right. All right, because you know what that brother going into, even in ancient times, really it starts with our land, man, the land of Israel. All right, which was going into the Fertile Crescent.
Yep.
And right, what it is west of the Fertile Crescent, you had what they call that shit?
The Red Sea and the Nile River.
Yeah, he had the Red Sea, the Nile River, and he also had one of the major places of trading was Cyprus, man. All right.
Tyrene Zidane,
Yeah.
a major.
And what's the name of that place? Alexander was the first place he went to. Macedonia.
Yeah.
All that shit was a common market for trading.
Yeah,
man.
it was a major market. Yeah.
And like this brother said, if you close that up, it's a domino effect on the world stage, man.
Supply disruption.
Yeah.
Supply disruption. That's why it's known as what the cradle is. It cradles civilization. It's the cradle of civilization. A cradle is something it's more like a caretaker. So much resources and everything starts back at home, man. So the Lord, you know, in the beginning, all those things were established, and in the end, that's where everything is going to go down.
And now, you best believe them Russians and them Iranians, the Suez Canal and the Caspian Sea, they're gonna cut off them pipelines, man. All right, they're gonna definitely cut off them pipelines because them dudes, you know, the Russians, they deal with propane and corn and different wheats and oats and shit. All right, and also fuel, man. 80%, 70%, 75% of the world's fuel supply, man. And then, like I say, and what everybody doing too, man. Let's talk about it, man. With NATO, all right, with NATO, EU, and the US, and everybody else on that world. The reason why they so scared, the reason why they so goddamn scared to actually deal with Russia is why? Because it's the winter, and Russia controls all the propane, man. So they don't want nobody to actually freeze the goddamn debt and going. That means pressing them. What the hell are your sanctions gonna do, man? When I own a part of the common market too, man. I own a piece of this pie too, man. All right?
Yeah, like a lot of these European nations are heavily reliant on doing business with Russia. So by them throwing sanctions on Russia, as the elder brother was saying, it'll disrupt the natural gas flows to Europe, which these European Edomites use to heat their homes. And if they take Russia out of SWIFT, which is the international banking system, which has a bunch of different currencies in it and allows for them to exchange each other. If they take Russia out of it, a lot of European businesses specifically use SWIFT to deal with Russia, so that's going to mess up their money. And then, of course,
we own a piece of that fucking pie too. That's what Russia's saying. Man, matter of fact, we own the plate that the pie is sitting on, man. Fuck you.
They links in that chain for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russia, the Lord say he gonna turn them hooks back, and Russia like fuck it.
Got
They still got that cold world spite on them, man.
Yeah, that's been a common thing going on too. What you just said. Everybody's saying now that how these people want to turn. Even Putin talks about how he want to go back to the turn into that Soviet Union state of mind, man. Want to go back. I mean, Ukraine used to be a part of that.
Go.
Crimea used to be.
Yeah.
Crimea is part of Russia now.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia's part of Russia now. Now the biggest piece of that pie is who? Ukraine, man. And they in there right now getting busy. You see them, they shoot missiles on fucking apartments and shit blowing up. People, blood like the bird said, blood, guts, and ass everywhere, man.
Entrails.
Yeah.
Ukrainian troops surrendering.
Yeah.
So just walking.
The scripture says there's no peace unto the wicked.
Yeah, you hear the alarm to the Fence City. It's going down, man. Yeah, it's going down, man. It's this thing is no more far off. It's upon us, man. All right. Now they talking about cyber attacks too. They're gonna use Russia as a crush
Cyber attacks.
to do their thing. To do the thing with you niggas, man. They're gonna shut this shit down. Hey, you know what? We need to get a new identification on everybody. Because guess what? That big reset is coming.
A cyber pandemic.
Yeah.
Because it says, as the saying goes, never let a good crisis go to waste. We know that Esau already has his own agenda he wants to push. This is the best time to push it.
Right.
Due to the fact that we're in war, everybody has to get that MOTB. You know, we have to have registrations. We have Russian foreign troops in American borders. You know, it ain't nothing for them to start a false flag right now.
We need to know who everybody is, man.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get this new identification chip, man.
If not, you're deemed a terrorist, and you will be dealt with speedily or immediately. But I have this light little point dealing with the Strait of what you were talking about, the choke point. It says Strait of Hormuz, the world's biggest oil choke point, in focus as U.S.-Iran tensions flare. And this was dated January 6, 2020. It says about 21 million barrels of oil a day flowed through that Strait of Hormuz in 2018. You know, and that strait is not just no little casual strait. You know, that's the flowing. I'll say one of the major flowing points of the world, man. So that's how we know it's going to be nothing. The scriptures speak about how it's basically light unto the Lord to basically put down the kingdom, man. You know, it says in 1 hour he shall destroy that city, Babylon. You know, and see these different Americans are so used to overeating, you know, living under that bread and circus vibration. So when things are dramatically cut, the shock value is going to hit them hard. We didn't know it was going to get real. Because you always playing games, man. You know, dancing to always fucking in some damn new online challenge. But when things start to touch your front door, you know, and you see your wickets cut off and all these different things, especially these damn women, that's when people are going to start taking things serious. And as a light little second point, it shows even how women started their dress code changes around the times of war, man.
Oh yeah, you better.
Yeah.
Man, them hoes have chastity belts on.
They put the chastity.
Them hoes have a
Lock
big master
them straight,
lock.
huh?
Yeah, big master lock on them drawers, man. Them hoes chain their legs and hips up, man.
So they know that with men in that war mentality, they're ready to get busy.
There's another video out there with what they call them? Ukraine soldiers. Them niggas on the parachute coming down, and they playing, they videotaping this shit, man. It's a game in them. They on there hollering at hoes on Twitter in Ukraine. Yeah, man. And like that shit there, like that, they be all over her ass, man. Her and them big ass shoes, they be all over her, man. Them niggas go, hey man, we talking about it all the time. Them fucking soldiers gonna come. You know that song by Pimp C, A Pocket Full of Stones? Them niggas have a pocket full of Viagra, man.
Yeah.
That's what they was giving them in Afghanistan. Liquor and Viagra, man. They was gonna let them have their weight, man.
Have their weight.
Shoot.
Same thing gonna happen too.
Yeah.
Happen now. Well, it was a little bit more on this precept of put ye in a sickle.
Yeah.
For the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, the wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision.
Right.
You know, so the Lord's gonna put that judgment out. You know, and it's already written. The scriptures speak about how the Most High is furious. He's jealous. You know, he vengeance for his people. Because really, it boils down to what Edom has done to the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And it said that it said that basically no man shall save thee, because we're the apple of the Lord's eye. And it was never established for the Russians, the Chinese, the Moab, Shalom. It was never established for Moab to rule. It was never established for Esau to rule. It was never established for none of these nations to rule. The kingdom of heaven, or this kingdom as we know it, the earth, Shalom, will only be perfected by the Israelites. That's why I told you that in the book of, if I'm not mistaken, Sirach, that the kingdom will be translated in due season. Translated basically unto the righteous in due season, man. Showing you we're in a wicked rulership now, man. What you got?
Yeah, I got one.
I'll get some out of
Okay. This is Ezekiel. I'll get it. Ezekiel 38, I'll start at 1. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, which we know is a biblical name for Russia, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. And just to show the power of the words that the men of the Lord, chiefly through GMS, have been preaching, with all these things going on, now you got Christians trying to break down the scriptures, talking about Russia is Gog and Magog, with other so-called truth tellers out here. Who they get that from? Before the men of the Lord started talking about Russia is Gog and all that and breaking down these scriptures correctly, nobody was talking about prophecy in the scriptures, but now everybody's a biblical expert. And say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. Hey, the Most High putting them Russians back into that old confrontational Soviet Union spirit, which we're seeing an example of right now with them getting to work in Ukraine. And then even before them, what'd you see? Them helping out Bashar al-Assad during the Syrian civil war, fighting back America and Israel's proxy mercenaries, ISIS. Hey, they building up, they're helping Turkey build up nuclear reactors. They're doing business and military deals with Sudan. Hey, like that old Soviet Union, they're spreading out their tentacles trying to rebuild that empire. And they're
doing it the right way. A lot of people try to give Putin flack for being a warmonger, which okay. We in hell.
Well, shit, U.S. ain't no different, man.
U.S. ain't no different.
It was an article. When you probably got to go back up to it, I said something in the article on the WhatsApp. It was something about how America tried to say something, and I was like, but you do the same shit, though.
Same shit.
You know what I'm talking about?
Check it out.
Everything they say, they go into this country because of chemical weapons, but they putting chemicals all in our food. We got chemicals that's being descended upon us daily that we can't even see. Chemtrails, man. Even America was, they said that they have broken laws, crimes against humanity for what they did unto the blacks here in America. They was getting charged upon actually I forget, it was like world charges that was being put upon America. So yeah, Esau through his American constituents, they ain't no different. They just play ball different. That's all it is. One person is playing goddamn street ball, and the other one is trying to play the technical. And really none of these nations are technical. They're just different beasts. That's why Russia is known as a certain beast in the scripture. That's why America is known as a certain beast in the scripture. That's why, when you go into the 10 toes, they're their own separate so-called entities in itself, and they have their own ways of controlling their country, but they're all connected to the beast. Russia's not technically the beast, but it's known as the bear, and the bear is a beast, because the scriptures speak about in Proverbs how or Psalms how foolish was I was like a beast before thee. Yeah. These nations ain't got the law, statutes, and commandments. They're animalistic, and we're seeing these big major nations actually lock horns, and we're excited about it, man. Well, that you think of?
I had a little more in this verse. And I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. And hey, that's their military might, which we're seeing them bringing it forth in the Ukraine right now. But to back up what this brother brought out in that Joel 3:9, that's mainly talking about them bringing them forces down into the Middle East in that Valley of Jehoshaphat for the War of Armageddon, which is the real World War III we're waiting for, because we know that battle's going to take place after the Charagma is mandatorily implemented, and that's when Yahweh Shai is going to make his appearance in the midst of that battle, as it says in 2 Ezra 13, and show them who a real warlord is, who a real king is, who a real headbuster is.
I have some. But,
it's saying Proverbs. I'm looking for it. I can't kind of look at it. It says, as a ranging bell, as a roaring lion and a ranging bell, so is a wicked rule over the people, man. And it also says the fear of the king is as a roaring of a lion. Whoso provoking him to anger, sinning against his own soul, man. And the scriptures speak about what? Waking that bell, man. All right. And again, Russia is so raw. Right? Like we was talking about it, they really the heart of the Edomites, man. All right, the real raw of the Edomites. Now they still eat them, all right, but they're the raw ones. You get these Americanized these Western Edomites.
Yeah, these suit and tie.
Yeah, the sun on them, you know, they
collar.
Tanning and shit, you know, all out on the beach.
That monotone.
Done. You got it, bro.
The Russians got that. Even how they speak.
Yeah. It's manly.
They got manly. The Russians be wrestling bears and shit. You know, they be having them slap contests, big husky Russians. You know, so when it comes to warfare, it ain't nothing for them. They not pressed about it. You know, you did have a lot of individuals that were speaking about we don't want the war with Russia. Those just citizens that's falling up under the fucking wine of Babylon, man.
Yeah.
You know,
the political correct ones.
Yeah,
Gonna say you got that Russian that for the senator for the NHL. He their main guy. He from Russia, and him and Putin take pictures together or whatever on his profile. He with the NHL, the senator. You know what I'm talking about, Bayan? He play hockey. He a real good player. Him and Vladimir Putin is on like his Instagram page or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like on his when you look on the Instagram, you have your little photos, and you know it's him and Putin. So they was asking him about how he feel about it or whatever. He was like, "Oh, I hope everything just come to to a head, peace to everything like that." But you look at him, you could tell on camera, he for the Russians, man. Yeah. He for him, but he gonna say the right thing because why? He in the U.S. All right. I'm hoping everything just become cool or whatever. Man, what's this man name? What his name is?
Alex
Ovechkin.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Alex Ovechkin. Ovechkin. They did an interview on him. They was asking him,
Yeah, he can't pick a side.
He played for the Capitals.
He can't pick a side.
He can't pick a side. But he have his side picked already.
Yeah.
He a Russian. They down where you. That's who you is.
But he Americanized.
You got it.
Was this saying Isaiah 13? Every man shall return unto his own people and return unto his own land.
To their own kind. And that's again, Putin and him is like best friends. How they got you look at the thing, they close. So you think he not rocking with Putin?
Oh hell yeah.
Come on, it's a no-brainer, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, every man gonna flee to their own kind, man. It says every kind will resort to their kind. They're gonna go back, man.
Isaiah 13.
Yep. They're gonna resort back to their kind. So, and that's what's happening right now. You send because at a time, remember Russia said all the people that y'all should come back home. Come back, set the decree out like if you in Russia, come back home. Yeah. They understand the times. They're aware of what's going on.
And what the hell is Israel doing, man? Trying to lay in the cut and wait for that great, because they're gonna do something. The scripture says that the least of the flock shall draw them out.
Draw them out, yeah.
The Most High is putting His spirit on all these different kings. It tells you that in Proverbs 21 how the Most High moved the king with, and Russia making that act. Oh, you got it.
I got it. Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh, and as the rivers of water, He turneth it whatsoever he will.
Yes, it says that the Lord turneth it whatsoever He will. Yeah. It was one day that because they said from what I was listening to the analytics, they was like, really, Russia don't want this war. Russia don't want this war. And I was thinking, yeah, Russia is kind of showing actually Ukraine talking about with America pressing them. Yeah. But then through the spirit, you see Putin was like, fuck it, man. So at the end of the day, it's nothing for the Most High to put the spirit on these kings overnight to actually excite a war and push the button. Because Russia said anybody that steps in his way, and he said they're going to face the inevitable destruction. And if it comes down to it, Russia's gonna push that damn button, man.
You know, that brother reading that scripture in Ezekiel 38. It talks about I'm gonna make them think that evil thought, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You want to bring it up, bro? Are you doing that?
Yeah, I'm done with that. I got something right here. This Ezekiel 7 and 23. You started off, and I was reading down in it. It says, "Make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence. Wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses. I will also make the pomp of the throne to cease, and the holy place shall be defiled. Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none." In other words, ain't no stopping this, man. All right, you could seek peace, all you want, man, but it shall be what? It say peace and safety, but sudden what? Destruction shall come,
like
man.
a thief in the night.
Yeah, because the destruction is coming, it's inevitable. It says mischief shall come upon mischief. What you saying now? A rumor shall be upon rumor. All right? It says, then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priest and the counsel from the ancients, man. So again, a lot of people is gonna think themselves to have an understanding of what's going on, or think that they set up right, but they seeking the vision, man. But the vision again is before them, man. They're looking for something, all right, that's not contingent upon what's in front of them.
They're seeking a sign, but the only sign
There
that
should
should give
be
to
none.
them is the sign of Jonah.
Which
you
was
see
a
Job the
prophet.
prophets right now
Yeah.
giving you.
You seeing
you
the
the
sign.
signs.
That's why it's mischief upon mischief. Confusion, man. Great confusion in the land. All right? People are distraught. All right? Unorganized. Nobody knows what's going on. People asking questions, do you think is it? No, this is not it. It's close, but the end is not yet. It's not. It's the beginning of sorrows, man. You see?
I got Hey, just to back up what the brother was saying, before Russia really started busting on Ukraine, they tried to be diplomatic about it and be diplomatic about it and try to avert this situation. But the U.S. with this propaganda machine was constantly demonizing Russia and kept egging on Ukraine to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna join NATO and do all that. So what did that do? That
talking shit too, man.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about how Russia gonna lead back with a bunch of body bags and shit. Now they on your ass. You somewhere in the city hiding some fucking way. Somebody, how you gonna go out with a bang? You gonna go out with a bang for real, man. And I'm talking to the Ukrainian president, man.
Zelensky.
Yeah. Now you see that America, you can't trust the guy. You never trust our enemy, man. You trust these damn devils. They left you out there assed out. That's why you made that statement yesterday about how you feel bad that the U.S. made you turn down your nukes, so-called turned off to a nuclear program, and trusting them that they're gonna help you in the time of aid when it comes to war. You say you said it out your own mouth. You're like, only thing I see now is no help and Russian fighter jets flying over my head. So you assed out, man.
Yeah.
That's on you, man. You made a deal with the devil, man.
With the devil. You should have stuck. You should have stayed down. At the end of the day, like he said, pre-2021, those nations were together. And they tried to break up, and there was like a political toss-up, like a country that was kind of like a toss-up. They still had Russian ties, but they still wanted to try to do their thing with America, And it was like a indecisive woman.
Yeah.
And how like, hey, if you don't make the decision, I'm gonna make the decision for you.
Yeah, they having independent dreams. Mm-hmm. They won't be independent, but still, you gotta depend on other countries, man.
Trying to stay
afloat.
They were trying to play the gray area.
Trying to play the gray area.
Yeah.
Shit backfired.
It backfired. They should have stayed down for who they were. But the Most High said that he's gonna cause division. Because at the end of the day, about these nations really unifying, the Most High say he's gonna drive a shaft through the spirit of these different nations. Satan's house being divided against itself in Matthew 12 and 25. It said it shall not stand. Because the devil doesn't even get along with his own. All right.
He's the devil.
Hey, Zelensky, you should have took an example of what happened last year with Afghanistan. How America dropped Afghanistan like a hot potato, and now I bet Taiwan's looking right now at what America did not only to Afghanistan but to the Ukraine as well. But back in Revelation 20 verse 8, I'm gonna start at verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. That's Satan is talking about the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. Esau coming back into power, beginning with the Renaissance, all the way up until today, with the culmination of that, the NATO-EU alliance, which the U.S. is a part of, that reincarnated Roman Empire, the last leg of that fourth beast.
Hey, when any man, a person get out of prison, what they do, they run fucking wild. They wilder than what they from when they prior went in.
Yeah.
Because they feel like what they got catching up to do, making up ground. All right, so then they're way more wilder than what they previously was. When you lock a beast down, you let him go. After a while, he gonna tear through shit when he get through. You got it out.
Okay. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth.
Heavily.
And the main perpetrator of that is the United States of America, with what your CNNs, MSNBCs, Fox News, this is all that. And like I was saying, before Russia started going into Ukraine, they were trying to be diplomatic with it. But then Ukraine, backed by the U.S. mainstream media, were heavily demonizing Russia and saying, look, hey, NATO's going to join, and hey, there's nothing you can do about it, which what? As it's about to say, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, and again, Gog is Russia, to gather them together to the battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. So with them pushing out that propaganda and talking all that shit to Russia or Gog, what do? They gather them out to the battle, starting with Ukraine and ultimately culminating in them getting gathered down into that valley of Jehoshaphat for the war of Armageddon.
Yeah, you got, Ukrainian president. You put what happened with you, my man. You got caught up in the Snoop Dogg moment. I don't know if you brother remember when back in the day Snoop Dogg was it backstage for the Sauce Awards and shit. You don't remember him running on stage? One time with his people, but one day he was back there backstage. A couple of Ukraine being Snoop Dogg, he was left in the back, and a bunch of Suge Knight people came in there. He was talking, nigga, fuck you, nigga. We fuck Suge, nigga.
I think I remember vaguely.
So the people told him, oh, it's time to go on stage. So his people thought he went with them. All his people left and went on stage. He was back there by himself, like, yeah, fuck y'all niggas, man. Like Suge people just started coming in, like, yeah, what's up? Oh shit, he was back there by himself. He had to run from them niggas and go on stage. And run around like he about to get jumped and shit, man. But that was you. Yeah, that was you, man. That's you. You were talking big shit to Russia, like, yeah, I got my big brother right here, my power. You look around, you by yourself.
Well, yeah, because America is nothing but a shiesty nigga.
Yeah.
They're the ultimate shysters. The banksters, they're the true niggas. They always do double dealing. They double deal with wars. They'll fund both sides of the military, charge high interest rates. That's the snakiest people you can deal with. And they try to deal with the snake.
Yeah. The biggest war they had over here against the North and the South.
Civil War.
The Civil War. They did the Civil War. They gave you niggas down here, down south, you Edomites. They gave you faulty guns. All right. They defunded your ass, and they were funding the North, man, to win. They had more interest in becoming a corporate entity, man. All right? That's what happens when you get into bed with the devil, man. All right? You get into bed with this whore. You get burned, man.
And that Russian president, not the Ukrainian president Zelensky, before he became president, he was a stand-up comedian. So, hey, you should have expected this punchline coming from your ally, the United States of America, to pull the carpet from underneath your feet.
All right, so Rock 13 and 4. If thou be for his profit, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. If thou have everything, he will live with thee. Yea, he will make thee better and will not be sorry for it. Because again, he got needs.
It's the devil.
It's the devil. Yeah. It says if
and what's funny about Ukraine is a country that's natural, it has a lot of resources. But one thing about America too, they're stretched too thin, and they have to choose their battles. This showing you that America's weak now, man. Let the weak say I'm strong.
Well, it's the same philosophy that the Roman Empire did. They sprayed themselves so thin to they could get penetrated and beat, man. It says if thou, if he have need of thee, he will deceive thee and smile upon thee and put thee in hope. He will speak.
Zelensky got put in hope, man.
Yeah, we're gonna do this for you. Yeah, pipe dreams.
Yeah, pipe dreams.
I know the U.S. is coming.
You got sold the
Hey
American
man,
dream.
you got did worse than them niggas down here in New Orleans for Katrina, man. You waited 5 days thinking that nigga was gonna come.
Okay, nobody
Ain't never come.
Yeah.
Ain't coming, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
It says, he will speak thee fair and say, what warnest thou? And he will shame thee by his meats until he have drawn thee dry twice or thrice. And at the last, he will laugh thee to scorn afterwards. When he seeth thee, he will forsake thee and shake his head at thee. Yeah. You know, that's the point. He gonna play you, man.
He forsook. U.S. forsook Zelensky.
Yeah, the only thing they could give him was a life. What was it, like a lifeboat?
A lifeline.
Their little lifeboat to get out of there.
God.
He was like, nah, I ain't taking that shit.
Biden said.
Asylum.
Biden was shaking his head. He's like, we'll just throw some sanctions, but we're not sending any troops in there.
Yeah, that's it. He just did it. He just went up there to the podium and did the same little speech. He would be met with this, that, and other. You know how Biden be talking. He went back to his fucking senile mode. He forgot what he said.
They just had need of Ukraine, just like they try to do Kakistan or whatever it is, to place their silos and missile defense systems, you know, so they could be right on that borderline of Russia, man.
Yeah.
Everybody that put their pieces. Everybody put their pieces. Put their pieces around, man.
God.
So it's time now.
It's
China
time.
got those artificial islands that they built. They like, what the hell is on those artificial islands? And missiles and shit, man.
Fucking right.
You know, they built all kind of artificial islands. You know, we here. You know, so this, you know, it was just a lesson. Hopefully, brothers are edified. You know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. You know, we're gonna end it by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakahadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the Akim. Shalom.
Shalom.
Turn it over.